Universal Studios Islands of Adventure has officially announced their newest and latest roller coaster will be called the VelociCoaster, and this is an Intamin Blitz coaster. So today I'm going to go through everything you need to know about the coaster and much more, so let's get straight into it. So if we start off with the stats, this will have a height of 155 feet, it will reach up to speeds of 70 miles an hour, and we don't actually officially know the track length yet, but it's definitely going to be an incredible ride. So if you didn't know already, the VelociCoaster is actually all going to be themed around the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies. So if you're a fan of them, you'll definitely be a massive fan of this roller coaster, as obviously this is going to be an incredible coaster, and I'm sure a lot of people will claim it the best roller coaster in Orlando when it opens in 2021, or maybe even Florida. So yeah, this coaster will definitely be up a lot of people's bucket list, and yes, for me certainly it's definitely up there as well, because I love all these movies. So yeah, this coaster, as expected, is going to have some pretty awesome theming, because obviously Universal do their theming so well. I mean, you look at rides like Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, the theming on that is unbelievable. It's the same as also the Hulk as well, and a lot of other rides at this park. But yeah, obviously if we now go through the elements, so this one actually have loads of dark and show sections. So yeah, obviously as I said about the theming, I'll move on to this a little bit later, but it will also have an LSM launch, an element where you go straight after launch, and that looks insane. You also have a dive loop, which looks amazing as well, and then you have another LSM boost as well, and this will bring you up into a massive top hat, and this is absolutely amazing. It stands at 155 feet tall, which is actually going to be your highest point of the roller coaster. Then you're going to drop down, and then you're going to go really low to the ground, and then you're going to go up probably to the standout element here, and this is actually the 0G stall, and this looks insane. You're literally going to get so much hang time on this as you go over the pathways. Yeah, and this is actually 100 feet long. So yeah, this is actually very long. And then you've got a barrel roll over the lake, which looks amazing. You've got a couple more twists and turns, and then you got obviously go slam into the brake runs, but obviously the brake runs are very smooth on here. And obviously Intamin coasters are incredible. I mean, this is actually another Intamin Blitz coaster, and a lot of people will rave about these coasters. Loads of people say it's amazing and everything like that, and I'm sure this will be no exception. So if we go for the location, this will actually be located right at the centre of the park. So yeah, obviously if you know Universal Islands of Adventure, there is actually a massive lake in the middle of the park, and a lot of the coasters interact with the lake and obviously the rides as well. So obviously if you don't know Hulk, this actually goes right through there, and obviously this is actually a B&M sit down coaster. A lot of people say it's pretty good, and you actually go right under the pathway and through the lake, obviously in a tunnel as well. But yeah, this looks absolutely amazing, and this one will actually interact with the water. It won't go under the water, but it will interact with it. But if you don't know Islands of Adventure, you do actually sort of have two entrances, and the reason why I say sort of is because you actually have the main entrance, well, I'll talk about it a little bit later, and then you have another entrance, so you can't get a park hopper ticket, and this is the only way you're actually going to be able to do this. I actually did this when I went there back in 2016, and basically what you do is you can actually take the Hogwarts Express from Diagon Alley over to a Hogsmeade. If you know where that is, that's where Hagrid is basically, and you take that all the way over to there, and that's another entrance into the park. But if you are actually going through the main entrance, you have a one-day ticket, you will literally come straight out, and the first thing you'll see is obviously the massive Jurassic World building and obviously the VelociCoaster. So yeah, this would be an incredible sight if you're going to go to through the main entrance. But yeah, obviously whatever entrance you go to, I'm sure this ride will be very awesome. But yeah, obviously there's bridges going through this as well. This ride just looks like an overall package. Everything comes together so well with this coaster. But also, if I do actually go for the theming, this is actually another thing which is actually amazing about this coaster, because on the coaster as well, on the trains itself, the theming is unbelievable. You've literally got light packages all over the cars, but the best bit of all is obviously the show scenes in the middle of the rides and stuff like that. So obviously the lighting package, I'm sure, is the main sort of part of this attraction, and obviously what you're meant to be is you're meant to be like a Velociraptor. I can imagine you're meant to be one of them, and you're actually trying to escape it. So yeah, so you're trying to escape the cage basically, and this is all based around, so you're sort of in a cage, in an enclosure, and you're trying to escape it. But yeah, obviously you'll go interact with some animatronics, with the dinosaurs and stuff like that. So if you love Velociraptors and stuff like that, you'll definitely love this coaster. But yeah, you'll interact with loads of different animatronics and show scenes, and especially if you've been following some people's Instagrams, they actually show you that the lights turn on when you go through the tunnels. It goes red, blue, everything. This coaster just looks insane at night. So there are actually tons and tons of positives about this roller coaster, but for me the main positive is actually where it's actually positioned. So basically, as I sort of mentioned where the location was, you do actually have this massive Jurassic World building, and this is sort of the centerpiece of the ride. And basically this ride goes around it, but a lot of people are saying they hope it doesn't cover the building. But what they did was they did the top hat, and then you sort of say low to the ground, and then you go back up. So yeah, they really did position this coaster nicely, and a lot of people said it fits in incredibly to the park, and I personally agree with that. So obviously now I usually go for a negative about these coasters, but on this coaster there's not actually any negatives in my opinion. Obviously this coaster's got some incredible theming, but for me there's just no negative. I think this will be a perfect roller coaster when it comes out. Yeah, this just looks absolutely insane. And obviously I keep on asking myself this question, is this actually my most anticipated roller coaster? And yes, it actually is. So if I had to choose any coaster in 2021, for me it'd be the VelociCoaster. Even though a lot of you will probably put Anguazi or Condor or something like that. For me, I just love theming, and I'm more into dark rides than actual coasters. As much as I do love coasters, I love dark rides as well, like the atmosphere and everything like that in Disney parks, Universal parks. But obviously I do love roller coasters as well, but this just blends both of them together and it just looks insane. But yeah, that does it for this video here on UnTPC. If you have any suggestions for next videos, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. But yeah, I hope you have really enjoyed this video here on UnTPC, and I can't wait to get back to the theme parks on the 12th of April, hopefully. But yeah, that wraps up this video here on UnTPC, and goodbye.